Welcome to the next video of Section 3, Using App Tethering to Create a Companion App. In the previous video, we have learned how to control remote application using UDP. In this video, we will completely talk about a new app. App tethering is one of the main features introduced in RAD Studio XE6, and since then, it has been improved in security and functionalities. App tethering allows you to connect applications to Exchange in a so-called serverless mode. In other words, it gives your applications the ability to interact with other applications running either on the same machine or on a remote machine without using a server because the applications communicate directly with each other. App tethering features do not depend on a specific transport or protocol, and new protocols can be implemented using the App Tethering API. Currently, app tethering can work using a network or Bluetooth classic adapter using the same code. To enable an application to use app tethering, only two components are required. 1. Tethering Manager, used to discover other applications that are using app tethering. 2. Tethering App Profile, used to define the actions and data that your application shares with other applications previously paired using the Tethering Manager. The app tethering technology roughly follows the Bluetooth classic model, where there are a set of Bluetooth devices able to interact with each other, and each application exposes a set of profiles usable by other applications. One of the strengths of this technology is that it is completely independent of the platform where the resultant application runs. You can use app tethering to connect a VCL application to a mobile app running on Android or iOS, or between a FireMonkey Mac OS X application and an iOS app, or even more, a VCL Windows service to a FireMonkey desktop application. I think you've got the point. You can use app tethering to create an application network able to make your applications more usable. App tethering is designed to develop so-called companion apps. What's a companion app? Well, a companion app is an app designed to make another application more usable. Let's say you developed a media center running on an Android TV or on a PC. You can play videos and music, but how can you control the player while you're on the sofa? You need a remote controller. Using app tethering, you can create a companion app running on your phone that is able to control the media center to play and stop a video, to go forward, or to go to the next video. The remote controller is a typical companion app of your media center. There are some nice examples of app tethering on the internet, and some others have been provided by Embarcadero, but in this video, we'll talk about a completely new app. We'll develop a presenter assistant. I've just coined this term. In the last few years, I've used a presenter pointer, which allows me to go to the next slide easily without going back to the PC and pressing the space key. A presenter assistant is a small device with two buttons, Next and Previous. However, I love so much to talk about programming and Delphi that often I run out of time. Here's the idea for this video: a presenter assistant app running on my Android smartphone that allows me to go to the next slide, to the previous slide, and also to display how many minutes I have before the end of the speech. Here's the presenter assistant app while doing its job. The presenter VCL application is in charge of mimicking a keyboard key press when the mobile app sends the proper commands and sending the remaining minutes to the mobile app every 5 seconds. We don't need a clock. An update every 5 seconds is enough. Here's the VCL application. In the app tethering model, there isn't a server and a client. There's an application or an app that connects to other apps, but then the two or more apps are peers. Each application can 1. Share resources. When other apps subscribe to a shared resource, every time the shared resource changes, all the subscribed apps are notified following the publish-subscribe model. 2. Share actions. An app can discover and invoke actions published by other apps. 3. Send strings. One of the apps can send a string to one of the other apps. The string can contain anything, also a complex JSON object. 4. Send streams. One of the apps can send a stream to one of the other apps. The stream can also contain binary data such as an image or an MP3 file. The presenter assistant we're talking about is very simple. The mobile app needs to send two strings to the desktop application. The first when we need the next slide, and the second when we need the previous slide. The VCL application running on the PC needs to publish a resource showing the remaining minutes. Open the project. There are two projects, presenter.dprojthe VCL application and presenterremote.dproj, the Android app. Let's start by showing how the application works. Run the presenter application. Then run the presenter mobile app on your phone and press connect. If your phone is connected to the same network of your PC, you should be able to connect and see something like connected to 192.168.1.101$2020 on your phone. This means that the mobile app is connected to the VCL application, listening on port 2020. Now, go to your desktop. Write an integer number in the T-spin edit and press Start Speech. The application goes to the taskbar. The following schema shows the communication between the mobile app and the VCL application after the discovering and pairing phrases. When the presenter mobile app sends the next command using sendString, the presenter application receives it and sends a VK_write Windows keyboard event. Sending a Windows keyboard event, the application is miming a user who is using the keyboard, so the key sent is intercepted by the window, which has got the focus at that moment just like how a normal keyboard works. If in the foreground there is MS PowerPoint is showing a presentation, you get the next slide because if you hit the right arrow during a presentation, you go to the next slide. It's the same for the prev command, which in turn sends a VK_left key to MS PowerPoint. The relevant part of this message exchange is available here. How about the connection between the applications? For this app, I've used the group feature of app tethering. As you know, there are two ways to connect your applications. 1. Define two applications as belonging to the same group and use automatic discovering and pairing. This approach is very simple but not so flexible. 2. Obtain a list of discovered applications and then request to pair with specific applications. This approach is more flexible but requires a bit of work. Considering the scenario, I've used the group property and the auto connect feature. Here's the code under the Connect button in the mobile app. In order for the auto connect to work properly, both the tethering app profile components must have the same value in the group property. In our case, the value is com.danieliteti.presenters. Also, the presenter application shares a resource with Presenter Mobile. In order to automatically subscribe to the resource update notification, the resource name must be the same on all the paired apps. Having this configuration, you can simply update the value of the resource in the desktop application using this code. Updating the local resource time causes an update to the remote resource with the same name, and the following event handler is executed on the mobile app. App tethering is a nice technology. It is not a replacement for a server, but a good tool to easily create companion applications. Here's some documentation about it. Using app tethering. Adding app tethering to your application. Connecting to remote applications using app tethering. Sharing and running actions on remote applications using app tethering. Sharing with remote applications using app tethering. Fun with Delphi XE6 app tethering and barcodes. Great! We've successfully learned how to use app tethering to create a companion app. In the next video, we'll create a DataSnap Apache module.